Hi there, I'm Kevin Bailey, and thank you very much indeed for watching the next instalment of Unfiltered. Today I have Robert Mol, who is going to be talking to us about data proliferation and the efficacy challenges in the application of analytics. Hi Robert, great to see you.
Hi Kevin, good to see you again.
For the viewers, can you just give us a quick summary of who you are?
Sure, Kevin. So Robert Mol, I have been in the business of analytics and business intelligence for a good 10 to 12 years now. Ran large analytics teams in a couple of enterprise organizations. And from there, set up my own business where we looked at more in-depth methods of analyzing business opportunities for large clients, particularly in the enterprise.
Thanks, Robert. So let's get straight into this. So what do you believe are the issues that you think exist today with data proliferation, efficacy of data, in the way that organizations, individuals are applying this to analytics?
Yeah, great question, Kevin. Let me start by saying it's all about the volume of data, how you manage it, and what you actually want to get out of it. So that is, for me, the big question overall when we talk about proliferation and efficacy, is that in 9 out of 10 times that I talk to organizations, no matter what size they are, the challenge always begins when they look at an analytics project. The challenge begins with understanding, where is my data? Is it complete? Who owns it? Where can I find it? Is it duplicated? Who has access to it? And nobody really ever understands the whole picture. And so for me, the biggest challenge in this industry is still data management, because where we come in is within the analytics world. What we put into the analytics has an impact on what comes out. And if the bad thing goes in, a really bad thing comes out. And there lies, I think, the biggest risk in what we do, is if we're not confident about what kind of data we are manipulating, analyzing, investigating, we don't know whether or not the results are actually truthful and applicable to large organizations, or in fact, any organization.
I believe and know that data is a massive, massive value to cyber criminals, as everyone's seen. What are the issues you see around, especially around the efficacy of data and its use in data analytics?
The largest risk, and again, we see it today as well. We work with some very large international organizations, and some of them, have set up applications that just function within their own group. And nobody else knows about it, right? And that's where we get the data. The risk for us, of course, from an analytics perspective, is that we apply that data to an analytical model that is not just from a single data source, but includes data sources from elsewhere in the business. But contextually, there is no relationship between the two,
Right.
because the data that's been developed in that singular system in someone's back office has been developed specifically for that area, applies to the analytics model, but there is no context against all the other data points. Right. And I think from an ethical standpoint, that's just, you can't imagine a business being able to operate on those grounds, I suppose.
So what do you believe needs to be done to address those issues that we've raised?
Yeah, again, really good question. And I think there are a few things. For one, I mean, my data scientist, he always talks about this, and I think it's fundamentally one of the most important, very practical areas that data analysts, data scientists, data managers essentially should be looking at, which is this notion of creating a singular data cube-like source of truth within your business. And how that essentially develops itself is by centralizing lots of these processes that manage applications, systems, access, security, and everything else to data, right? And although that sounds a little bit like going back to the dark ages of having all this control at the corporate headquarters, in reality is, as you quite rightly say, it all starts with the management and the quality of that data. So without having control over that singular point of contact, with that data, and understanding, being really careful about understanding where it comes from, who's developed it, what are the policies around it, can we actually keep this? Can we utilize it? Can we analyze it, etc., etc.? You can't move on.
The chief data officer or the CIO or whoever's in charge of running this project has got to know that they're going to spend some money, but they're not going to have the availability of capital to go and do it again in 2 years' time when you work out that actually we bought the wrong package, or this doesn't give us longevity for the next future of machine learning and deep learning that we want to put in there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The speed with which technology is moving at the moment is incredible, and it's so fast that most organizations can't even follow where to go next. It's more the question of how to manage that data that's fundamental. So rather than having 5 cores around your business, bring them all together, create consistency, understand the way you manage data, understand who has access to it, and create that basic layer of understanding. Then you can much easier apply new technologies and new ways of utilizing that data, because you're confident, or at least you're more confident, that the data layer is correct in a way that you can utilize the data for these applications. Because I think that's the thinking is here. How do you know whether or not that data is yours? How do you know someone has tampered with it? That's kind of the fundamental first step you need to undertake before you can start thinking about investing in any other technology. And I think the same applies to analytics. I mean, for me, there's no point in doing analytics if you're not really sure about the data set you're going to provide.
But it's great. Thanks very much indeed for this session. It's really good. And I look forward to publishing this, and obviously for you and I to continue interacting again, as we always have been over the last decade or more. And we'll see what the next thing has in store for data analytics.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for this, Gavin. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you.
Thanks very much.